Hello everyone, welcome back to another kinetic tutoring episode where today we're taking a look at ratio tests. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Oh, I'm on the wrong slide. Sorry, let me go back. We're starting here. So we have this equation, and first what you're going to want to do is write out the equation you're given, but rewrite n or k or whatever number variable you're given to that variable plus 1, n plus 1 to the fourth point times point over 0.5 to the n plus 1, and then you're going to multiply that by this where the numerator and the denominator are flipped. So 0.5 to the n over n to the fourth. As you can see, this is the same thing. It's just that they are flipped. So from here, we're going to try to cancel out like terms, stuff like that. So let's say, for the sake of showing you guys an example, we're going to make 0.5 a simpler number like 2. So we're going to take a look at these two terms right here, this 0.5 n to the 1 and this 0.5 n. Say it's 2 to the n, and then we have 2 to the n plus 1. We're going to get, let's say n, for example, is 3. We're going to get 2 to the third over 2 to the fourth, and it's always just going to come out to 1 over 2. So in this case, instead of being 1 over 2, it's going to be 1 over 0.5. That's what we're going to get out of here. 1 over 0.5 is simply 2, so we get 2, and then we have these two that we haven't simplified yet. These two multiply and get you 2. These two cancel out and leave you with 2, rather. So we get n plus 1 to the fourth, and then n to the fourth. But then, as we see, n is going to infinity. So as n plus 1 is going to infinity and n is going to infinity, we get something like a really, really large number plus 1 to the fourth, and then a really, really large number to the fourth. And the top one is over the bottom one. And the bigger the number gets, the more inconsequential the difference between them gets. So this term right here is going to be approaching 1 as n approaches infinity, and then 1 times 2 is going to be 2. So therefore, our series converges rather to 2. And that's how you would solve that first problem. Let's move on to the next example. Here we have 10 to the n over n factorial. 10, so we're going to make the n plus 1, n plus 1 factorial times n factorial 10 to the n. So once again, we can see from here, there's going to be one more 10 on the top than on the bottom, so we get 10 over n factorial over n plus 1 factorial. Once again, to prove what this is going to be, let's plug in a random number to see what comes out. 3 factorial, let's make our n 3, over 4 factorial. This is going to be 1 times 2 times 3 over 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. So we just get 1 over 4. So the only term that truly matters in the end is this final term that this bottom one has that this top one doesn't have. And that final term is n plus 1. So this whole thing becomes n plus 1. Multiplied by 10 becomes 10 over n plus 1. And we find, and as n goes to infinity, we get infinity 10 divided by infinity plus 1, which is just going to be 0. So this summation rather converges to 0. Let's go to our next problem, our final problem. We get n plus 3 over 2 to the 2n plus 3. So this we're going to make n plus 1 plus 3, so n plus 4, and we get 2 to the 2n. For every n, we add 1, so since there's 2 n's, we have to add 2. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, and then we multiply that by 2 to the 2n plus 3, n plus 3. Here we go. And our final step is to see, okay, so this one is going to be 2 greater, 2 2's greater, because once we simplify this, this is going to have 2 more 2's that are being multiplied. So we cancel out this, and this whole term becomes 1/4. So we get 1/4 times n over 4 plus n, n plus 4 over n plus 3. And as these terms go to infinity, infinity plus 4 over infinity plus 3, it's going to get closer and closer to 1. The difference between 1 is also going to be inconsequential. So then we get 1/4 times 1 is equal to 1/4. So therefore, 1/4 is going to be the summation of this sequence. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys all learned something. If there's any comments, questions, concerns, make sure to leave them down below in the comment section, and I'll try my best to respond to them. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.